What's going on, everybody? Coach Ken from Givin a Try. We are in week two. Well, finishing up actually. I can't believe it. Feels like just last week we made the video for week one. And like I said, these videos, just whatever's on my mind all week, that's what we're going to come out here. This videos are meant to support the coached athletes, but most of them are going to be public unless it's a specific training advice geared towards them for the week. And really just to help anybody. So if you're just tuning in, this is the first time you're here, welcome. Just make sure you subscribe because there's going to be videos and just motivational mindset talks all throughout the year. Trying to keep you motivated, keep you consistent, and keep you dialed in with your endurance journeys out there. Want to start off a couple weeks ago now, maybe about a week and a half ago, for the coached athletes. I had set into their training plans a question, and it was just some of them got back to me with some interesting things, and was a goal setting, and it was define your 3 performance goals for 2025. Now, some put some other type of goals in there. I'm gonna, as I talk throughout the month with them, I'm gonna have them brush them up and really make some performance type goals there. And what I mean by that is, and this is something that you can start as well. Open up a notepad in your phone and put these in there and answer this yourself and follow along as I progress with deep diving these goals. This part of it's going to be, what are your top 3 performance goals of the year? Now, that could be, I want to do better at the half marathon. These don't have to be right now super specific. This could be kind of just, what are you focusing on performance wise? Maybe it's, I want to get stronger. I lost some strength over the last couple of years with endurance training, and I want to get back to being strong again. I want to, again, some type of distance, or I want to complete a half Ironman for the first time. Something like that. 3 goals performance wise that you're going to shoot for this year. And we don't have to have such specific type things, but keep them generalized for now. But what really should have put in before that was this week's question to them was, what is your why? And again, I think I mentioned that last week's video, but it's not something I as a coach necessarily need to understand. But for yourself and the coached athletes out there that are listening, again, set up that notepad in your phone. Put those 3 performance goals in there because you're going to revisit these as we go through the year. Above that, though, starting off is just put a couple sentences in there. Why do you do this? Is it health? Is it other reasons? Is it whatever it is? Whatever the main goal is on why you're waking up early mornings, staying up late nights, hired a coach, have a coach, surround yourself in this community of endurance sports. Whatever that reason is that keeps you going, that why do I do this? And that can change as you go on. And my whys change, it's fluid. Different reasons keep me going, but there's always some things there that are my fire on what keeps me going and what keeps the burning desire going. So whatever the current thing is, put it up there. Put down that why. And thinking ahead on the question that's going to come in the next week or so you can get a little jump on this if you're actually listening to the video here, is going to be, we're going to break down those performance goals now. And for each of those 3 goals, we're going to also jot down up to 3 different things that we can start doing now to help you get to that goal. So let's just say it is strength. I want to get stronger. I want to get back to whatever the strength goal is. Okay, now we have to write down 3 things for that specific goal. How we're going to get there, when we want to get there, and just kind of like other reasons on what other things you can do now. Maybe it's clean up my diet, eat a little bit more protein, have a more balanced diet with my macros, and eat enough to support the training goals that I want, whatever it is. And that's going to be, again, we're going to be able to come back, circle back down the road and see, are we doing these things? And at the end of the year, when we come through, we're going to look back at those performance goals and say, all right, let's see what we wanted to do for the year. Whether we hit them or not, we're then going to step to that next part of it is, did we follow the kind of the steps you put in place for that? And that's going to kind of determine, did we go down the right path, or do we have things we want to brush up on for next year? It's never a failure. Don't think about it that way. Like, if I do all this, but I don't reach my goals, absolutely not. And that leads into the next part of this is to be inspired by each other, but not influenced. And what I mean by that is zoom out. Like, you're tuning in here because of the endurance world, swim, bike, run, whatever it is, and your friends, and you go training and you go into these races, and you may have been in it for the first year, you might have been in it for years or decades, whatever it is. Zoom out. Take your lens, zoom it out. really take a look at everybody all over the place, the whole world. What you're doing is such a small portion or percentage of all of that. What you're capable of, the things you've done, the things you're aspiring to do, such a small percentage. But the problem is when we go on social media, when we go on, your phone or and all these other apps, the small few that actually want to present themselves out there and be these social figures online about their training and things like that, it's just such a small percentage and a small few of the big picture. So then you start comparing yourself and what you're doing to what that really tiny small percentage is that you follow. That, like, just zoom out. Like when you're getting like kind of beat up and you're like, oh, man, I can't. Why is this person able to do this and I can? And I've been training the same amount of time as them. Zoom out, man. Like, understand, be grateful of that you're able to do this right now. Being healthy, being able to move your body, push your body, be able to have a calendar and a plan laid out for you, and to be able to follow that. Again, that is so much more than the average. So think about that when the times are kind of like fighting through a little bit, you don't have that motivation, like you're already light years ahead. So keep on rocking, keep on being consistent with it. And don't, again, be influenced or swayed by what other people doing to make you feel a certain way. Don't let them, I've said it this week, be rent free in your brain. Don't let them take up space. Just be inspired by them. Be like, that's awesome for them. I'm going to stick with my path, and they're just giving me some more fuel to keep on trucking with what I'm doing. Because me as a coach, it's not about how fast you are or how skilled you are at something. And don't beat yourself up on any of that as well during your whole journey and your process. Because believe it or not, the only person that really cares about how fast you are is probably yourself. Like nobody else really cares how fast you are. And even as a coach, like I don't really care how fast you are either. What I do care about is that the approach we have to these goals is that sustainable, safest, healthiest way possible to enjoy it, to have hard fun, to do all those things and be able to really just enjoy it. Like, and to get to those goals and have a smile on your face at the end, win in both our books. I care that you're doing the workouts the right way, you're learning, you're applying yourself, you're building consistency, you're making some sacrifices in life, because that is part of this whole journey. And yeah, so I do care about you. Don't think I don't, but I do care about it in a different way. So like for myself, my performance goals, nobody cares what I do. I only care about myself and my performance goals. Like my whole chart of past races that I keep track of, and every single 5K to 50K plus, whatever Ironman, whatever it is, and I have all that data. I have it all in a big spreadsheet, and nobody cares about that, but I care. I'm the only one that cares about it. That's what I'm trying to get at. So don't think based off what you're doing that you need to compare yourself with other people. It's just you versus you. It's you versus your journey. If you want to keep bettering yourself performance-wise, it's just about chipping away at the block. And we'll just get into in a minute about that consistency and what that really is when you zoom out on it. Right now, you might have some lingering issues, or you might have lingering issues at the end of last year per se, where like something might have bothered you towards the end of your training, going into your A race, or during your A race, afterwards, during your recovery. But because of rest, because of a downward amount of volume and intensity, you might kind of start feeling a little bit better. But if you haven't fixed the problem of anything that was going on from last season, it may just rear its ugly head at the wrong time during training this year, because you might be like, I feel great right now, but it may not feel great in a couple weeks, couple months, or whatever it is, or the week before race day. So try and get out there and get to, just focus on recovery. I go to a chiropractor physio every other week or so, every 2 to 3 weeks. I get adjustments. I get some ART, some active release for my muscles, and any tight spots, things like that. They know when I get in there, and I'll tell them, like, I just went through a hard training block. I had a lot of miles the last 2 weeks, or after the backyard when I went there. They're like, oh man, let's get out all the tools and all the toys and loosen you up. And I feel like $1,000,000 afterwards. And I've been doing that for a few years now, ever since I had some issues that flared up. And now it's more of a maintenance. Like before, It's easy to just be like, oh, I'm good, and then I don't worry about the next appointment. And then next thing you know, things are flaring up and now you're playing damage control. So I just want to just get ahead of things if you can. Use all your assets and resources that you can outside of training to stay healthy and make this sustainable. Because really, at the end of the day, what we are doing to our bodies at these longer distances does need to be followed up with some extra care if you're not able to put the time and work into it yourself. So that's just part of my routine, something that I do and people have asked about. So again, if you have a place to go, people that that go to a place, that recommend a place, I would say, if you haven't done that, try and hop on with that and try and get some help in that aspect for recovery and some prehab reasons to try and prevent any further issues of injury or overuse down the road. And coming back to the consistency, is the last thing I have with that for the day is this concept of delayed gratification. I said in the last video, nothing's instant. Like this fitness isn't this endurance journey, but it's the concept is delayed gratification. And what I mean by that is, and this is how it looks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, week after week, month after month, the consistency and the discipline that goes into this, all because of something you signed up for way in the future that you're not prepared for now, that you need to get a specificity in training relayed up to that point, and to be able to, again, delay all of that gratification of this workout today is not making your plan. The workouts for this week are not fully making your plan, but week after week, finally, at some point, it all starts to come together, and then you perform on your day, and it all comes together. So to be able to delay that gratification of that day for weeks, if not months, to almost a year sometimes for these big events is pretty amazing. Like I said, again, in a world where everything we just want now, we want to see results from this workout. We want to see results from this week. We want to get faster. We want to get better now. It's this delayed gratification that comes along with endurance training. I think that's why it's so appealing to me. So for now, that's the end of week 2. That's what I got for you this week. I'll have some nice training tips for you next week. I got a lot of things I've been writing down, plotting along here. So for now, end of week 2, going into week 3, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget, balance that life 1 mile at a time. Catch you next time.